Okay, this is a new experiment. I have a big iPad right now, and I just drank like 3 cups of coffee. I'm serious. And these cups of coffee were basically supposed to jolt me so I can do a book review and maybe get $50. But instead, I started to digress, and some other drama's happening right now. And so I'm just gonna go outside, walk, have this iPad up to me, and see how it like records my voice and all that matter. But this, for all, is a Pilleater lecture for Pilleater University. I don't know exactly what to call it, but I haven't done these in forever. But I'm going to try to put it on my iPad and just ramble and see my ecstasies and realities and hopefully spread my wisdom and advice as the sensei teacher onto you, dear listener, the student who wishes to know the ways of Pilleater, to know the ways of the AXA movement, to know the ways that you can understand wisdom. This isn't just some bogus postmodern hot take nonsense. This is a form of intellectual oration and poetry, I believe. I mean, poetry means that you're just taking words together, but it's more than taking words together. I think I'm having a lecture with you right now, and I'm qualified for the lectures. I have my master's in art journalism and my English background in English, or English BA in English, and I'm TEFL certified. I can teach in another country, and I can at least read Japanese, and speak some like boku wa Pilleater datsan desu, all of that. Well, enough of my credentials here. I should get back to the lecture of the day. And the lecture of the day, I think, is about anxiety, because I think that's such a interesting topic of mine. I have a friend named Babylonian Hebrew. He's very esoteric. He's been around the Jewish alt-right scene for a very long time. And, I do hang out with him, but he's such a nocturnal creature, and he's super mysterious. I don't even know what he does. For all I know, he could be Batman's sidekick or something like that. And, he does the same thing, but instead he gets his, phone and records something that he sees on an MTA subway or whatnot, and yada yada this. And maybe I am resorting to a Babylonian Hebrew experience as well. But it is snowing right now. I am walking in the snow near the railroad train tracks. Now, this is bizarre. I'm kind of going on a Terry S. David schizophrenic computer programming ranter right now. And I'm not as crazy as Terry A. Davis. Take that back. Terry A. Davis at least died when he was on the train track and trains hit him. But I'm more different than that. I wouldn't say I'm a Harmony Korine trash humper, but I would say I am a Lao Tzu intellect, that I'm growing a beard and I'm just free-throwing my stream of consciousness onto you. Anyway, back to the lecture about anxiety. So, as I said before, I'm on 3 cups of coffee. I'm thinking about thoughts that come to my head, and a lot of crap went down when I'm on the internet. And, okay, there's a plane. But when I was on the internet, people hate me who I am, I've had this experience where you express yourself as an individual, and then, people hate you for who you are. That if you clearly express that you say aliens are real or the Holocaust never happened, something silly like that, you will have not only condescending critics who are on your side, but or trying to, all critics are condescending, I should say. You'll have people who just outright hate you and to say how bad you are. And I noticed that this is a reality for all the arts. And so if there's anything I've realized that when people make art on the internet, they have this kind of whimsical rainbow fantasy that everything's good. It's just going to be like a safe space of positive comments and all that. And that no one could ever insult your work on being a black lesbian comic book writer trans person. Nobody could ever insult that. But you know what? I did this extreme Derrida cut-up post project at Rosemont College about a few years back, and I was told to come after the classroom. And what did my advisor say to me? well, this is a safe space and we don't allow such rhetoric. And I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. That doesn't, like, the funny part is like, I've never heard a serious academic institute call their learning about Martin Heidegger or Derrida as a safe space. Like, that's why, well, I knew that Rosemont College is a scam that preys upon kids who can't get into higher education. And unfortunately, I was a part of that scam. It's kind of fucking worse than going to Strayer U or some like Phoenix degree mill. And I think Rosemont College is in the same vein as a degree mill, and I deserved, eventually maybe I should make an open letter why Rosemont College is the most tardiest education of all. I don't even care if one of the Kennedy sisters, Patricia Kennedy, went there, or the ambassador of El Salvador, or the person who made up diapers. To me, it was just an affordable choice and close to for transportation and money reasons. But then again, it's like, well, people are not as smart as you make them out to be. And to this realization, I realized that people are not ready for any form of intellectualism. That people want to live in their own kind of shell. That, okay, off topic, I'm digressing, I'm on caffeine, but you know what? I think to myself, it's like when you constantly have the camera on you, you constantly have to talk. And it's like sometimes you just run out of thoughts to talk about until your like brain makes up the gray matter and like speak it out back again. But anyway, I hope you are a student who's going before bed and wants to know what Pilleater is talking about, and that's really cool. But at the same time, it's like I'm on stage, so this is a little avant-garde because like I really don't have a script. I never have a script. Scripts are for losers. But okay, maybe I'm going too digressive here. Anxiety gets to me a lot because people hate on you for your anxiety. And I personally hate it because, I was bred up in a middle-class culture where I was told people will love you for who you are until you like say something like women belong in Sharia law or something like that. And it's not exactly true. Well, it is true. But I'm saying is that they want to like, what's not true is like the safe space coddle culture. But when you say something like radical, you're shot down for it. And so there's this irony between the role model. Again, I've been reading like Girard and like Hebdige over and over again, like Bible studies. But I look into Girard and I'm like, yeah, this thing about the scapegoat that is so true about how people like okay, I'm developing the body, the gray matter here. Oh, the sun's really out. I'm thinking about like how it's a contradiction that we have a character to look up to. Like we look up a thing where it's like we see a role model, and then when we try to be the role model, we're considered unoriginal, and that everybody wants us to be original in order to manifest this character that everybody's trying to role play as. And so we're not really like original thinkers. We're more like people who are primitive and are role playing to the said creatures we wish to be. And anybody who's trying, like a student to teacher, to be that creature, to be that role model, we're kind of shot down because there can only be one queer voice. That as well. And I'm not meaning like queer as in like gay or anything in that. I mean as in strange and ordinary, that the queer existential condition. And yeah, and so I think this is a lot hard. When you tell people the truth, you get shot down. And so I think a part of my condition, similar to Terry A. Davis, is that I do tell the truth and I do express myself 100% without any like fake makeup or anything that, and I record my existential living. I'm somehow like always shot down. Like, to me, it's like, is internet culture and being like an internet celebrity, like, we're in this new like cyberpunk reality where you can't tell between those two things, right? Oh yeah, it's, by the way, if you want to know the date and time for like future cyberpunk people in 2080, the date today is like the late February of 2021. But anyway, you know, I'm kind of like a film noir detective in a queer world that doesn't make any sense. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, I could be like Philip K. Dick and I see like pink rays from the sky and Valis is a real entity. I don't know about that. I see it more as that when you express your art. Okay, so I've been recently like a Marxist in recent years. I've been incredible like anti-capitalist nihilist with some Hegelian Marxist sympathy, but there's such thing as like race realist anti-capitalism. And as long as you advocate like democratic socialist and you abolish capitalism, it's the only way you can have a legit national socialist government. You know, that's the irony, because like nationalism is real. You can like destroy the current system, replace it with like pause transhumanist snowflake socialism, that bad kind, and then nationalism will rise, and then the Nazi party will come back. As weird as that sounds. And I've been having like deep science fiction plausible free conscious writing about this. You know, William Gibson said he was going to make his I love this. This is like sound concrete here. You know, you can have science fiction could be just a giant allegory for like fascism or something like that, you know? But it's more in the terms of, well, I don't know. Like today's science fiction is all just like clones of Octavia Butler and things like that. I don't know, man. Oh God, I'm saying man now, like I'm some like hippie from the 60s. I can't stand like millennial slang anymore. I can't stand that. Like I can't stand millennial worlds. I can't stand Wojak stuff. It's all just like white people whitewash crap. And you know what? I can't like, okay, sorry, this is pretty funny. Oh, what was I gonna say? No, I'm going up a giant snowy hill right now. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous and the sun's out. Everybody's so like condescending. No. Here's how it goes. Okay. Just gotta think, use my thinking energy. I'm the Caleb Mopin. Whenever I have a thought in my head, I gotta get the piece of paper out and write like bombs in Afghanistan. And writes it down like that. Something, I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Okay, now I'm serious. I think people don't know what art is, and I think people always have this misconception of art being the Marxist concept of work, that they're thinking art in terms of work. And work is something we do as human beings. I think a beaver makes a dam out of wood. A woodpecker thumps on a tree to get like food. Monkeys take bananas from the tree, maybe build a hut or something like that. But we have the urge to work, and when we work, we create value to society. That's what I was going to talk about, value. And well, my one friend Joey told me that like this condition I'm in is called sleep high. It's like you're tired, but you like keep rambling on until you go to sleep. Not like I'm gonna fall asleep right now. okay, value is kind of made up and socially constructed, and that's why like capitalism is falling. Because if we're all like staying at home because of a virus that can kill us, you know, how can you measure someone's value who's like stuck in an East Village Manhattan apartment and like you're in front of a computer learning about, not even learning, you're just like doing data entry or logging online. How can you equate that to the same work as like working as like a Taco Bell employee? And like they're making like $80,000 a year, and all they have to do is log into Zoom every week and then write a robot to like script write. And that's like clear nepotism and all that. And that's, I know some friends who do exactly jobs like that, where it's like mommy and daddy gave them jobs, and like that's the thing too. Like I'm also a part of that like scene where I've seen a lot of my white, quote unquote, white peers go on to like work in LA and San Fran and New York, and it's considered like shameful if you're still in like a bumfuck state like Kansas or like Wisconsin or something like that in your like parents' house, and like you're supposed to be working in either Chicago, NYC, or like California at these like ritzy jobs that make like, they're basically fake jobs that give people money so they can pay off college debt or buy a house or just have a nice income to do nothing, and then like reaping nihilism comes in. But like I'm debt free. I'm loaded. I'm like a millionaire. I don't know if you know that. Like I got lots of money. Like a lot of people think Pilleater's like poor. No, that's far from the truth. Like I got millions of dollars, and like I have an interesting James Bond lifestyle, but like I only like pretend I'm some lo-fi Daniel Johnson bum because it's just like fun, and it's like I'm pretending I'm like James Franco or Joaquin Phoenix, you know, something cool like that. Yeah, come to the park. It's all snowy now. I think I'm just like, okay, back to value. I'm in the snow right now. I think what we know as work is messed up, because art is not work in general. So when people say everything is art, that's not true. So I'm being meta about this, quote unquote. I had this like idiot, like I was friends with this idiot named Nitzan Herman, and supposedly he's a TED Talks and talks about this fucking delusional shit about like transhumanism and whatnot, but he's like a delusional pro-Israel guy. But anyway, meta, we're being meta, and you're listening to me and you're speaking, and because you're speaking to me, I'm talking about value, and I think we don't know what work art is. We think art is like working in a 7-Eleven and then recording your life, and you win the Turner Prize for like a commentary on like brown women being treated at like 7-Eleven, or some like neoliberal like shitlib type of ordeal. But I think it's more on par. Wow, I'm like watching my sound waves go up and down. I wonder if there's like wind coming through this iPad right now, just recording myself. Yeah. So everything isn't art. You can't say that. I know you're just a school student going to bed and you want to know what Pilleater's talking about. And you're going to bed and you're just like, I can't go to sleep anymore. I'm going to listen to Pilleater and listen to him for 2 a.m. Well, you're just in luck. Here's bonus Patreon content for you. And by the way, I get lots of money on my Patreon. I get like $500 a month, and I spend it on Eurorack modules. I'm really cool. Shut up, dog. Anyway, I'm like a snowman here right now. This is totally not a comedy skit, by the way. This is totally not like an irony bro stream. I'm just like high on caffeine right now, and I drank like 4 cups of coffee trying to do a book review, and now I'm just like trying. Okay, this is actually about anxiety, and so you can learn a lesson about anxiety in me, and about how anxiety is like a form of like paranoia. It's always trying to like get you. I don't know if paranoia is an inherently Jewish thing, but I think paranoia comes from the environment you're in. It leads to deep, quintessential, existential questions about life. Like, I could have not brought this iPad and just like walked in the snow by myself, you know, and just contemplated life. But you know what? I brought the iPad. Now I'm being recorded like I'm a lizard, and so there's this meta conflict where now I'm quite superficially conscious about how I'm being recorded. And what can I actually say? First, I would naturally say if somebody was to secretly record me, you know. And that's what I was telling you. I'm like James Bond when you secretly record me. But maybe these two worlds alternate, you know. Yeah, everything's not art. Art's a fine art thing, and maybe next topic. I want to be expected for my art, you know. I think a lot of people don't respect my art. And you know, this comes with the ideal that you can put on many faces until people quote unquote get it. And I wrote that in my own book in 2018 about a manifesto about stalking Patrick Hyland in my own like zine, where I said like people like hate on me because they don't get me. And I used to like get mad all the time when people like talk shit about my work. And I'm like, yo, my work's not racist or evil or anything like that. I just think people are like neoliberal and dumb. Like, I'm at that point where like you reach a certain age, and when you're a man and you're done your 20s, you come to like a full realization that like you could say whatever you want as long as you defend it. You can be like open about it. You don't have to be like a closet Richard Simmons gay person, you know? And I'm coming to that realization where it's like, okay, I have an art collective, and it's called AXA. It stands for Asian Aesthetic Movement. It used to stand for Asian Aryanism, but that's just to tick off right-wing shit libs, you know? And it kind of started out as something funny and satirical and ridiculing, but then it became serious. Like, it's literally like its own skater gang. It's like how I do graffiti in Brooklyn. Like, I just write AXA, and we all should know what that means. That all means you like juju like I do. But I defend it like how graffiti artists defend their tags, and I take pride in it. So why would I feel shame for talking about race in my art, you know? And I've had a lot of friends who supported me and advocated me, and they say you get trapped in your own semantics if you're not playing the game right or correctly or anything like that. And I have to say is that, oh, the snow's really nice. Oh, it's so good, the snow. I have to say that we do paint ourselves in dumb semantics. There's this idiot I know named Illegal Aryan, and he's like a scumbag. But Illegal Aryan is such a scumbag because he's like openly like racist, and he's like a legit neo-Nazi. Yeah, he speaks really good Chinese, and he gets mommy and daddy's like trust fund money to go across the world and have fun. Meanwhile, he hits on Antifa white chicks on dating apps, and he like pretends like, oh, I was an idiot, my Illegal Aryan. I'm like, shut up. Illegal Aryan's dumb and deserves to get punched and beat up by Antifa. Like, if you're honest with your intentions, you don't even care. I don't even care about my honest intentions. I used to like care about it, but now I'm like, I don't care. Like, if you just don't like if you don't like what I'm doing, then I'm gonna be like Eminem. I'm gonna kill you. You don't want to mess with me. Something like that. What else can I say? Dina Arabad's 1/3 of the Holocaust. Yeah, that 4-hour film. No, oh, you know, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Maybe I've regressed into this like lo-fi. This is why this is a Patreon exclusive. hit that subscribe button. Go to youtube.com/Pilleater. Give me $50. And maybe I'll do like this weird Anna Akana sad diary video entry about my life. Yeah, right? It's mostly a fraud. Like, I'm just like a middle class person to like the Anna Akana god that watches over me. You know? I'm like the Alexander Horowski film being played out. And like, when Horowski approaches Mick Jagger to star in the Dune film, he says, "I want you in my film," and Mick Jagger goes, "Yes." That's how I feel right now. I'm in some like weird cyberpunk reality where like what I manifest in my chaos energy inside me is gonna approach me, and they're gonna be like, "We want you." But yeah, I'm like, yes, I'm in my own reality. You know, it's really hard to like describe what art I do, and I really hate it. People always want to like talk about my art, and I'm like, buy my books. Why do I have to explain it again? It's so annoying. Like, I'm a part of the AXA movement. Well, I don't get it. And like, only my close friends know what it's about. And I just hate it when like, you know, like people and close friends like are trying to like say I'm some bad person because I'm trying to do art. And it's like, yo, how did Tim Biscup get so successful, yo? You know, I was in his house one time, and like, he's such a cool guy. Maybe I'm just really bored. Maybe I'm just so bored that like COVID has gotten to me, and that's creating anxiety. And like, I don't know what else to say. You know, if this COVID wasn't happening, I would be more like taking my chaotic energy, making cooler stuff. I would be in movies in LA right now. You just wouldn't know. I'd be in movies in LA, you know. You know, I learned something from the homeless people in New York City, actually. Homeless people in New York City, I was robbed twice, and it's scary. But some of the homeless people, when they like piss in the street and talk about like God and things like that, you can take some Socratic postmodern wisdom from those people, right? And you can like invest that into your own spiritual body. And yo, no, it would be hilarious if like I'm talking with friends and this one guy has a girlfriend. He's like, excuse me, is this Pilleater? And she like copies this like Patreon exclusive and be like, ew, your boyfriend's a racist. And I'm like, you're a woman. Doo-doo-ts. Anyway, you know, how does one get famous? Does somebody have to write like some Timothy Morton type of like crit theory? York hyper ballad is real, art design research? Like, do I just like keep reading Marx until like I figure it out, and then like I get like a podcast and I appear? Oh my god! Like, I really want to smut. You know what? I'll make a confession right here. I don't have anything wrong with Douglas Lane of Zero Books. I really don't. But like, I've heard horror stories about Douglas Lane, and he actually commented on one of my talks when I was joking about Verso and Zero Books. He's like, Zero Books is my book label. And you know, and I could like take a jab at him, but I feel one day the jab's gonna be so harsh, he's gonna like react and he's gonna get really mad at me or something. And like, I don't care. Like, I've heard, again, horror stories about Douglas Lane being like a nutty fucking ex-science fiction writer. And like all my other like lefty partisan friends follow them, like J.G. Michaels and Alex Gendler and Ben and you know, whatever. And I'm just like, join us, Pilleater, join us. And I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah, how can I say it? Like I'm part of like Al Stankard's posse. Like, I don't know, Alex Goldstein's posse. Like, I'm part of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm part of like the New Brunswick like hippie stuff. But I keep my information really private, you know? Maybe I'm just a public narcissist and I'm looking for like fame like everybody else under the capitalist system. But imagine if I got in like Jacobin or like Zero Books podcast, like J.G. Michaels wanted me to get on. What would I even talk about? I'd be like, platypus society is real. Platypus society is real.
we're not living true Marxists. We have to believe in science fiction transhumanism. And then Zizek is right. The left actually failed.
Like, I hate this kind of like leftoid Pomo Amber Frost talk. You know, let me talk more about my neighbor Alex Gendler. He's probably mad listening to this right now. He's like, what's Pilleater gonna talk to me about? Look, I feel really bad. I really do feel really bad that, you know, Amber Frost was with him, happy days, Tuesday, Friday, happy days, and then he's like an incel now. Gendler's literally like a school shooter incel. I think, no, I'm being facetious. I'm being humorous right now. But I think like Gendler is like at the boiling point being a neo-Nazi. I think Gendler is going to be a neo-Nazi. Because like he doesn't have Amber Frost as a girlfriend anymore, so he's gonna be hunting for like more like tiger moms and whatnot, so I can hear his sex noises upstairs. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, he might just go psycho. Who knows, you know? Anyway, Douglas Lane. So my book proposal for Zero Books, Douglas Lane, it's gonna be called Overcoming My Sexual Racism. What was the subtitle? Overcoming My Sexual Racism, How Confronting White Women. And it's okay, it sounds like some weird punked Ashton Kutcher punked jackass ordeal or something like that. But in all due respect, it's like semantic warfare and whatnot of the Pomo related. And it's like, okay, I punked Douglas Lane, check. What do I do next? Do I write a sincere book and be like, oh, I have my master's from School of Visual Arts, and I'm quite aware of the critical theory of Peter Sotos and all that? Or what do I say? Do I say I live in the like Clifford Geertz or something like that? I don't get it. Like, do I have to wear a suit and tie, and then I'm at the magical age of 38 with a kid that's 3 years old? I'm somehow like respected. Like, when am I going to be respected? Or am I going to be like a comedian for the rest of my life? I'm going to be like Bobby Lee from Mad TV. I'm going to be making fun of like Kim Jong-un. And that's like my joke over and over again. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm like Randy Stair and I don't know it. Maybe I'm Randy Stair. No. Ever hear a jerk mate? When I was 18, the police came over my house because I said like something really nasty on Twitter, which is like literally like Columbine school shooting stuff. I didn't have any gun or anything, but like they were trying to like I got off. I didn't do anything wrong. I just got terroristic charges or something, but they threw it off. So I'm not a criminal. I'm just saying is that I did something funny on the internet. I did like Chad King moment back in like 2010. And I can't believe it's like 2021 already and the world's going to clown world pause land. Oh, somebody send me a tip on my Patreon. Somebody send me a super chat. I need it to pay my $1,500 rent in Manhattan. Wow. And then I have to go to Mood Ring. What else can I say? Okay, should I bash more on Douglas Lane? Should I bash on J.G. Michaels of Parallax View? He probably hates me now. J.G. Michaels of Parallax View, he's probably like,
oh, Pilleater, that weird reactionary Asian fetishist type. Ew, who would ever actually think that? Even though he has his master's degree and wrote about Gottlieb Frege. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like some of these people are like legit jokes. Like when you tell them like serious truths, they're like, I don't know, what's Alex Gendler doing? Is Alex Gendler talking about left communism again? Yo, he's an Asian fetishist too. We all know that. We all know Alex Gendler's an Asian fetishist. He likes it. You know, he's a Lydia Lunch Asian fetishist. You know, I saw him on Facebook, and you know what band he likes? He likes a bunch of Japanese bands. I know it. And this, we're gonna take this all the way to the Anti-Defamation League. We're gonna take this to SPLC, and we're gonna show the world that the underground DSA inner working is all AXA. We're gonna do it. Like, people are gonna laugh at me and be like, Pilleaters, and there's no such thing as AXA. I'm like, not true, Alex Gendler. Okay, there's a bus. Oh my god, how do you be famous? Am I supposed to like do like a funny stunt and like record myself on like Twitch TV and then like I win, you know? Yo, by the way, I'm straight edge. I don't do drugs, I don't do alcohol. They say don't do caffeine. Like, my caffeine crash is like running down right now. And I don't know. Like, I want to focus on my art. I want to focus on my art. I want to be an artist, and I want to be loved for being an artist. I want to be in Dan Schneider's new kids film. I'm going to be the security guard. I'm going to be an actor, man. I'm going to go to LA and be an actor. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to get a Bob's Burger short, you know? What am I gonna do? I'm doing some middle class ranting right now because it's typical of the middle class to like rant about dreams. So I'm already stuck in a matrix and they're like laughing at me. You know, they're all laughing at me. Yo, imagine a psychologist reading this and they're like being meta again. And they'd be like,
oh, Pilleater. Pilleater's schizophrenic, I can tell. Pilleater's schizophrenic. He's talking to himself. He's seeing the world in different visions. He's not totally doing a consensual intellectual stream of consciousness where he's going to get normative society. Oh man, my god, I'm almost done. Hold on, I'm almost down the hill. Yo, so Norristown's really creepy. That's where the Brothers Quay is from and where Jim Goad's from. And I could say I have the same background as Jim Goad. Like, legitly the same. Like, I have the same anger, the same interests, and like, you know, before we make some like gay Johnny the homicidal maniac, like, oh, you're just Jimmy the homicidal maniac. No, that's not true. Renee Girard and Dick Hebdige is correct. What else do I have to say? So everybody in this neighborhood is literally Eurasian. The guy literally has 4 Eurasian Filipino kids. Chinese American girl down the street brings her white boyfriend and bangs her in the night. There's like a Vietnamese family over there. And yeah, so like this is a huge Eurasian network over here. And like I'm fully accepted. I'm like a normie. But like it's kind of cuckoo crazy when you're like a Eurasianist lost in the cyberpunk mainframe. You know what I'm saying?